Guys, welcome to episode number 14 of the Derby Kermode Live, and to start off this episode we do have the FA Cup game against Manchester United, a really good game to kick off the episode, and a good way to kick off the January transfer window. Of course, that's what we are in now, and what I've kind of worked out is basically Derby are going to make a signing, hopefully, between now and Friday. So what I'm going to do, today's video is going to be the Man United game and the Cardiff game. Tomorrow's video is going to be Stoke and Bristol City, and then the deadline is actually 5 PM, and we also have a game on that day against Watford in real life. This is, so I'm hoping Derby make the signing before the 16th, because it will make things a lot more easier for me. But if not, it will mean that video on the Friday will probably, I don't know, it'll probably go up around 6, maybe 7 PM. We're going for normally around 3 PM uploads, but because of the transfer window and obviously me wanting to get, because let's say for example we sign a proper championship striker and we've already left the January transfer window, we'll have to wait until the end of the season when potentially we're in the Premier League, and the player that Derby did sign in real life just won't be usable in the Premier League. So I think doing what we're doing is just doing I normally do 2 games in the transfer window anyway, just because obviously in between the games usually you get offers for players, or we're offering for players. So I think that's what we'll probably do in terms of that. Play 2 games this episode, 2 in the next episode, and then hopefully by that Friday Derby have hopefully made a signing. I'm hoping the signing happens either today or tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously the transfer window is still open till the Friday, and things can happen very late on. So just looking at our transfer hub, I have added all the players that you guys have suggested. We'll just sort that by position. Predominantly strikers is what I asked for, and goalkeepers. So Joshua Zirkey's still here. I don't know if I just feel this one's a little bit too, I don't want to say predictable, but a lot of people will make this signing in a career mode. I prefer to make signings that are slightly more unique and not like Joshua Zirkey. You know, this guy's going to get to 90 potential quite easily if I did sign him. But he is 4.3 million, so he would be the majority of our transfer budget. So maybe a cheaper option is what we should do. Obviously, Charlie Austin. This is the only player that if Derby do actually sign him, there might be an issue, because I can only approach to sign him at the end of the season. So I'm hoping in a way we don't sign him and we sign somebody else, but we'll have to wait and see. That's the only player that will kind of ruin this system that I've kind of put in place. Obviously, Chris Martin, can't sign him, so massive shame. Might sign him anyway when we get into the Premier League if we do, but yeah, Mikel Antonio has extended his contract, so I think for 12 million we're not going to be able to afford him, so we will remove him from the short list. And then we got to Adam Armstrong, a very good championship striker. Would be pretty much all of our money at around £8 million, and we could potentially look to do a swap deal with him. I do like Adam Armstrong because he's 23 years old. Very good stats, like incredible stats, but would cost a lot of money, and I don't know, he's not kind of the player I'm looking for. I'm more looking for an Adam Ida or a Lucas João, a big 6'4", 6'3" tall target man, and Adam Ida is actually listed for loan, so I might be tempted to do that and then potentially look to make it permanent. I think that would be quite good, because he's I don't know, he's kind of realistic, because he's not exactly getting the game time at Norwich. Obviously he will in the future, but like we'll get him a lot more first team football here. And I do like Adam Ida, but like he's a really good target man, just to hit the ball into the box. Lucas João, a little bit more established than Adam Ida, would cost us only 2.3 million. I think is a terrific price for a really good player. Obviously against us, I think it was it first or second? I think it was first game of the season, the championship season. A couple of assists, a goal and assist for him in that game. Is injury prone, but I think, you know, it's one of those where obviously we've got a few strikers anyway, so if he does get injured, that wouldn't be too much of an issue, but hopefully not for too long. Danny Welbeck's another player that is actually free in real life. He is a free agent at the minute, and I don't quite see any Premier League side signing him. I don't know why he's left Watford in a way. I'm trying to think of a Premier League team that would realistically, like maybe a Fulham, maybe Fulham would get him, but I just don't see many teams wanting Danny Welbeck, especially at 30 years old. Then we got Andy Weimann. I think Andy Weimann's a nice player just because of squad depth. Maybe not the type of player I want, like a Lucas Auer and Adam Ida. But I really liked Weimann at Derby, and it's kind of a shame we did sell him because I think he still had a lot to offer. Really good, just work rate and everything, and always put 100% in. Then we got Islam Silimani from Leicester City, who is actually transfer listed, so we would be able to get him for a decent price, and obviously a very good striker. Not exactly the paciest, but as I said, I am looking for a target man, and that's exactly what he does. Obviously, power header and everything. Like there's very few players in our current squad that we can cross the ball into and realistically get a header. Delap is tall, but not exactly a target man. Obviously, we still have Tom Ince here. It's one of them where I might make the sign, I might not. It's for $1 million. It's not going to cost us too much. Ferdy Cadiglu, really good player, of course, 21 years old. But I just don't think we need a cam at the minute. Obviously, we've got Holmes, Rooney, Lawrence, Sibley, and probably one or two more I've not thought of. Oh yeah, and another player that for some reason is a left mid, but is predominantly a striker. Colin Grant, a really good championship quality player, would be slightly cheaper as well than Adam Armstrong, which I'm quite surprised at. And he is looking to move in real life, so it's slightly realistic. Obviously, he's looking to move to West Brom, but obviously has a scanned face. He is 6 foot tall. Not too sure what is. Yeah, it's decent jumping at 73. Heading accuracy, let's have a look what that is. 65, not great. I don't know. He's obviously a very good championship striker, but for some reason is down as a left mid. I'm not too sure if the computer can actually switch the positions. But yeah, we do have Eric Garcia here. Slightly unrealistic in my opinion. He's obviously linked to teams like Manchester. He's at Manchester City, but he's linked to Barcelona, and probably going to move there at the end of the season. Ben Cabango's probably a good option we could look at, obviously just for £1 million. 20-year-old centre-back, very tall and very decent as well. Like, still very good stats for a young player. Tomori, I think, is probably out of our budget, but I will keep him here for the time being for obviously next season if we do get promoted. And then in terms of goalkeepers, we do have Bidgelow. I'm going to go for Bidgelow. It might not be Bidgelow, but yeah, 22-year-old Dutch goalkeeper. We'll get the scout report back and see what he looks like. Then we've got Luis Maximiano. I think that's about right, yeah. We'll go for that. Again, 6'3", young Portuguese goalkeeper. And I think that is about it. Obviously, we already had these goalkeepers here. Bit of a shame we can't get Tom Heaton, because I would have probably liked him, but I'd have had to do that before the window. I think Jack Butland's good. He's a good option, but I think for about $5 million, I just don't know if it's quite worth it. Since we only have 5.7, I'll move the budget slightly just because obviously wages aren't predominantly. You only go for about 20k a week. We'll go for that. So we've got about 6.4 million, which is a good amount, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. So let's go into our first game of the episode. A big game indeed. Manchester United against Derby County. It will be Rodon's debut, but we will need to make a few changes due to fitness. No Liam Delap, unfortunately. I think I'll go for Jason Knight because he's still got a decent amount. I don't know if I want Byrne or Ibe in the team for this game. I might put both in, to be honest, and drop Whittaker altogether just because it is the FA Cup. Oh, Sibley is back now, so I could put Sibley on the bench. Obviously, we had a bit of an issue with getting him into the team. But as you can see, like, obviously Waghorn probably going to use him as a bit of a bargaining chip. Maybe for Lucas João, that could be quite an option that we'll look at after this game. But yeah, strikers, we don't really have a tall striker. Delap is 6 foot, I think, or is he 5'11"? 6'1", but not exactly, like, he's only got 60 jumping, and his heading accuracy is only 59, so not exactly a striker. So I think I will put Ibe in, and I'll probably put Byrne on that right-hand side, and Whittaker can always come off the bench. Here's the Man United team for today's game. Is ridiculously good, and probably going to be one of our toughest games of this career mode so far. Dean Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Dalot at left back, who should technically be at AC Milan, but because of the transfers, obviously, bit of an issue, but that's the game we're going to have to play. Lindelof and Alderweireld from Tottenham Hotspur, obviously a good signing at centre-back for Man United. It's incredible that the game's realised that, but not Man United, the club. McTominay and Fred in the holding role. Then front four of Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Martial. Now, this is going to be ridiculous, and obviously I don't think Cavani's actually in this save, but he has been added to. If you do start a new career mode now, he will be in it, but it is Rodon's debut, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this back three does together. I'm not too sure if I should be playing him in the middle. The only reason I'm putting him in the middle is because of his pace. I think just having the slowest in the middle makes sense, and also a very good header of the ball. But we'll have to wait and see. We have got Lewis Sibley back from injury, so hopefully we can get a few minutes for him. Not exactly the strongest bench in the world, but we have put out pretty much one of our strongest 11. Tackle that from Bird to win it. Off Martial. Rooney obviously against his former club, and so is Tom Lawrence, who is leading the line with Jack Marriott. Oh, that's a poor ball from Bielik. It's gone to Marcus Rashford. Through for Tony Marshall and into the back of the net to make it 1-0 very early on. Bit of a mistake from Christian Bielik to give away the pass, and Rashford and Martial there to pounce and to get the goal to get them into the lead. And now it's going to be, you know, very difficult indeed. Like, again, the amount of times players will use their weak foot when I put it on their strong foot is, on FIFA in general, just ridiculous. But yeah, that's just made things a lot more difficult. But then again, on the flip side, you can say they maybe scored too early if we do win. Good run here from Tom Lawrence. If we can reply immediately, that would be great. But a great save from Henderson at the near post. Ball out wide here to Rashford, who's in absolute acres. Obviously against the back three, it's not working out, and Manchester United have made it 2-0 there in the 16th minute. And yeah, just a ball over the top, and I'm not too sure why Bielik and Clark had switched to the back. And yeah, it seems this back three against Premier League sides might struggle. We might have a bit of an issue once we do get promoted, of course. But obviously we'll get a much stronger team if we do get promoted, and I might look to make a back four team. The only thing I could think of to get as many players in as possible would be to go to like a 4-1-2-on-2 narrow. But then like Kamil Gozwiak and Jordan Ibe and who else is a winger? Maybe Whittaker as well wouldn't really fit into that system. So it's very difficult to balance the squad with all the great players that we do have. Chance here for Marriott if he can get the pace to go around Lindelof, and he has indeed. Now with the finish, hopefully. Yes, he can. Got 20 minutes now. Can we get an equaliser? That is the question. I think it goes to a replay, so it would be interesting to go to Old Trafford. Yeah, Jack Marriott with the goal there to give us a little bit of hope. Chance here for Holmes. Loads of space at the back from Manchester United. Now with the finish and into the back of the net, we have made it 2-2 against mighty old Manchester United to get us back into the game and to potentially go through in this FA Cup game. It would be really, really nice if we could do that. Dwayne Holmes, a player that hasn't exactly played too much, but still really good at 73 rated, and obviously with a slight boost. And it is a bit of a shame we haven't been able to play him as much, but because of basically the number of attackers and midfielders we do have, it's very difficult. But when he is called upon, he does perform. Player switching just absolutely destroying me there. Now with the shot and into the near post. Oh, I just wanted Nathan Byrne, but the game was like, no, have a player that won't help you in this defensive situation. And yeah, I don't know. It's just really frustrating, the player switching this year, and that's why that goal's gone in, basically. But yeah, now we've got 5 minutes to maybe save the game, but I doubt we're going to be able to. Pretty much last attack of the game. Byrne does have a bit of space out wide here. He can whip a ball into the middle. Lindelof's intercepted. Sibley intercepts it though. Can he get around the defence? He's held it off nicely. Now into Sibley. Slip through for Rooney with the shot and with the goal. We equalise in the final seconds of the game. Obviously against his former club, Wayne Rooney. It had to be him to get the goal. And I don't think it goes to extra time. I'm pretty sure it goes to a replay, which I'll take, to be honest, because we have got a big squad indeed. But Sibley with a wonderful through ball, and Wayne Rooney with that top quality finishing to save the game, basically, in the last second. I don't know how the ref didn't blow it, to be honest, for about 40 seconds over the 2 minutes, and there you go, there's the game done. So I'm pretty sure it goes to a replay. So we are going to Old Trafford, I think. We are indeed, so that's a good little thing, but I think we get a bit of money for that. And yeah, maybe we'll be able to win at Old Trafford. So after that draw with Manchester United, it does mean there will be a replay, and it'll probably be around here. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, once we do simulate. But one thing I want to do, because of the contract situation of a couple of players, basically at any point they can be taken and we won't be able to use their value. So I think the best thing to do is probably look to put Martin Waghorn into a swap deal with another striker. So we'll just have a look and see who's around the same price tag, and then obviously we can always add a little bit of money if need be. So I think the one, Ida and Zhao are the two that interest me the most. The only thing is I don't have a price for Adam Ida, but since he's the younger one at 19 years old, I will go into approach to buy, and if they are interested in Martin Waghorn or Josephson, of course, that would just save us a lot of hassle, basically. I think a straight swap for Martin Waghorn would be the best, but it'd be interesting to see what kind of price tag he's got on him, because in real life, realistically, this guy's about 10 or 15 million, maybe 8, but yeah, they're not looking for Martin Waghorn, so we're going to have to try Florian Josephson. Maybe they're looking for a winger. Where is he? Oh yeah, wingers, not midfielders. So he is worth $1 million. They want 2.5, so if we put in... I'm going to try and be as stingent as possible, but I think something around that, if they are interested in Josephson, would potentially work for me. So let's see if they are. They're not interested in him. Who else have we got? Because at this point, I'm trying to just make things as realistic as possible. We could put maybe like a Forsyth or a Tawerik. I don't think Forsyth plays too much. So yeah, let's try Craig Forsyth. We'll knock off $1 million again and see if they're interested. So they are interested in Forsyth, which is good to see. We offered 1.4, so if we go down to 1.5, I think that's a good deal. Like, realistically, Forsyth isn't playing that much. And there you go, they are happy with that. So what I'll do now is, because we've technically got Ida, you know, the contract situation is not going to be too much of a hassle, I'm going to try and go for somebody else and see if they're interested in Martin Waghorn. So we'll go for Lucas Zhao. I do like that big 6'4" striker, because in that last game I think we could have utilised that, especially against the bigger teams. So if I put Martin Waghorn in plus 700,000, I'll go 800,000 just to sweeten the deal, and hopefully Reading are interested. And that's you see, that's what I like. I like just doing that because that makes things so much easier. Like 800,000 is peanuts, really. Plus Martin Waghorn, who's essentially going to go anyway. I do like that. I like both these deals. And I'm not 100% sure who to go forwards now with. Like, this is on strict difficulty. That's the thing that I'm kind of frustrated about, that how easy that was. So I think a lot of you guys are interested in bringing Jack Butland into the club. So unfortunately, because he's a rival club, I forgot about that. Stoke City players count as rival team. I don't know why, because they're not a rival. So it means we can't sign Tom Ince either. So it means just removing both those from the list, because it's literally impossible. So our next target is probably It's either Ward or Walton. I do like Christian Walton. He's 25. He's a couple of years younger, so we'll go in for him and see if Brighton are interested in Martin Waghorn. Oh, so because Waghorn's included in the other deal, I can't put him in other deals. So that's it's a good little thing. But it basically means this deal for Christian Walton is a little bit more complicated. But if I put Kelarus into the deal, maybe let's try Josephson to start, because I don't think he's included in the deal, is he? So we'll go Josephson plus 3 million. And in theory, that should be enough, because Josephson's worth 1 million. He's worth 4 million. So they're not interested in Josephson, and they want 6 mil, which is just a little bit too much. It's basically all of our transfer budget. I tried Tabucci, because I'm not too fussed if we lose him. And we'll go for the 3 million again. Be interested to see if they do negotiate. I need a little bit of time, so there's a slim chance that this might get accepted, but it's probably not going to get accepted. But at the minute, in theory I could make both the signings of the strikers, because we are playing 2 strikers now. Delap and Marriott and Bobby Duncan are our only strikers, so we will try for Colin Grant, of course, if we can include Josephson into this deal. It would be a sensational signing. We do need to put a bit more money into this deal, though. That'll be the only downside of it. Include Josephson plus about 4.5 million, and I'll probably even throw in a sell-on clause of 10%, because 10% is not that much, and once we're down the line, it won't be too much of an issue. It's not that far off, to be honest. They are actually going under his value by quite a bit, and we can always look to sell a few people on. I want to know what they're looking at. It would be nice to know what Huddersfield are kind of looking for, because maybe they want a centre-back. I think just because it's this deal and it's Colin Grant, I will go for Mike Tawarrick. But I'll go down to 3.1 million, 3.9 million. They are slowly going down in price, but I want to include a player just to knock like 1 million off. And obviously I could always sell these players. I'll try Curtis Davis, because he's not exactly playing too much. 4.3 plus Curtis Davis is actually a bit of a deal, and if that works, then I don't mind it for Colin Grant. So I'll give it another couple of days. See, straight away we've already had a pre-contract agreement for one of our players that are expiring. It is Ravas going to Shanghai Shenhua, so that's why I kind of need to get rid of Waghorn quite quickly. I think 6 million for Silimani for a 32-year-old is a little bit too much, and unfortunately, yeah, they're not looking to put a player in, which it kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. But I think it's undervalued. That's the thing about Colin Grant. It's undervalued, and would be a terrific signing, of course. But I think just because we have got the deals for, I think I'll just reject this one for Walton, because I don't think that's going to work out for us. The deals between Ida and Zhao, they're both brilliant for different reasons. Zhao's a little bit more ready now, but I think you're going to have to go for Adam Ida. I think I can't not get Adam Ida, because he kind of fits in with the project that we're doing here. We're looking for youth, so let's go negotiate his contract. If he wants like a sporadic role as well, it means we don't have to play him too much. So let's have a look and see. I'll give him rotation, I think, because I will play him, and they're happy with that. He has got a scanned face, of course, so makes him slightly more appealing than Lucas Zhao, who just does a default player face. Now into the salary of the player. See, this is where the annoying bit is, because I've not scouted him. I haven't got a clue what he's wanting. I think 7 grand will be enough, plus 100k. I'll even go 90k. And I think they'll probably accept that. I don't see why he wouldn't. He is nodding his head. He's going, yeah, that sounds a good amount of money. And there we go. Cool. So we have signed Adam Ida from Norwich City. A very good striker, of course. And he's a little bit different to what else we've got at the club, and that's what I wanted. At 67 rated, that's actually quite good. 75 pace still as well. Hasn't got the morale for some reason, which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, he's slightly higher than Delap, and Delap's quality, so imagine how good Ida's going to be. The only issue is, obviously, now it means we don't sign Lukepingu, and we need to put Waghorn into a different deal, so let me just quickly go into that, and we will... Oh, I can't seem to... I'll just offer him a really low contract then. One thing I could do is actually put Mike in Waghorn in the Ben Cabango deal, or Josephson, so if I can get a swap deal for one of these, then I wouldn't mind. Obviously Ben Cabango, very good centre-back. We will go in with just a straight swap, and it means we just don't lose that, and there we go. So that suits both clubs, so that is what I like about the swap deals this year. So let's go negotiate his contract. Obviously we do have a number of centre-backs at the club, but we have lost Forsyth in the Norwich deal, so it's a little bit more less numbers at the back. We have got a sporadic role, which is really good to see. We'll give him a 4-year contract. I do like the fact that we've got Ben Cabango and Joe Roden, 2 quality Championship centre-backs that can grow in rating. So I'm pretty happy with that contract, but I'll negotiate anyway. If we could just get 2.1 and the 23k sign non-bonus. They're looking pretty adamant to go for the 2.7. Let's go on, negotiate. Give me 2.4. No. At this point, they've knocked down this sign non-bonus by quite a bit, so I'll just accept that. 2.7 is absolute peanuts. And there you go, we've made another Welsh signing. So we do play the Welsh team of Cardiff City next, and as you can see, Ben Cabango for a 20-year-old, ridiculously good stats: 76 jumping, 72 strength, and like, it doesn't look phenomenal, but for a 20-year-old, those stats are really, really good, and can grow quite easily. So in terms of centre-backs, we currently have 1, 2, 3. Obviously we did get Roden, so that's 1 in. 4 with I won't count Evans because he's more of a centre mid, but he can play centre-back. But out and out centre-backs, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could probably do with moving on 1 or 2, or loaning out, such as Lee Buchanan or Brown, which I think we'll do now. So let's go over to the squad hub and do that. So we do have the Man United game midweek, so it's a matter of maybe resting a couple for this game, but at the same time I do want to keep the pressure on in the league. Obviously we do need to pick up as many points as possible, and it also means, this is actually quite good actually, it means this episode will end here with the Cardiff game, then the next episode will be Man United and Stoke, then the episode after that will be Bristol City and Birmingham, and we could potentially save the deadline day for any signings that Derby do make in real life. Here we are then for the game against Cardiff City. We have got a new signing up front. I thought I'd just go for Delap and Ida up front because obviously it could be quite a good combination, and since they're both teenagers at 17 and 19, I could see this combination working out quite well. I will actually switch those two just because Ida's right-footed and not exactly got the best weak foot, whereas Delap's got 5-star weak foot. But yeah, I think we're starting to build something quite nice here in terms of the age of the squad, and that's what I quite like about this career mode. We're looking at youth and signing young players. But yeah, looking at the Cardiff City lineup, they have gone for a 4-2-3-1. Alex Smithies in goal, Bacuna, Messina, Morrison and Flint in the defence. Then Pack and Rolls in the holding role. Osei 2-2 and Hoyler out wide. Lee Tomlin and big old Kiefer Moore at centre-back. And yeah, Cardiff, I think, did we lose against? Yeah, we did lose against Cardiff a month or 2 ago. It might have been in November. So a very tough team. So I've kept quite a strong team, but rested a couple for that Man United game, such as Rooney and Marriott. Now with the ball here into Ida. Now slips it into Delap's path. Can he get into the dangerous areas? He's gone around the defender, into Ida with the shot, and into the back of the net on his debut. Adam Ida, I think he plays for Republic of Ireland. He should probably be called up for him. He does get his first goal of probably many. I do like that he's got a scanned face. And obviously, since he is a championship player that might not be playing too much, because Pookie's scoring a lot of goals. Also, they got Jordan Hugill, so it kind of makes sense. I think it was a good little deal, you know, and Craig Forsyth plus 1.5 million for a very good striker that suits the mould. Ida with the ball here, out wide here to Morgan Whittaker. Going to have to cut back and open it up. Lawrence on the edge here with the shot, but blocked by. Through for Ida. Now into Whittaker with the shot. As I was just confused what happened there. Obviously, Morrison makes the block, but Whittaker with the goal to make it 2-0 and to get us into a comfortable position. And I think, like, the overall, like, I was just looking at this squad now in terms of age. Obviously, Sibley can come in for Lawrence at cam. So if I just do that now, because we do need to get him some fitness anyway. We've got 19-year-old at cam, 19-year-old at striker, 17-year-old at striker. What is he? 20-year-old winger. Josuek's 22. Bird's 21, 20 years old. Knight's 19. Bielik's 23. Roden 23. And Clark 24. Like, it's a super young team. And if we can get a young goalkeeper, which we'll look to do in this transfer window, like, the squad's ridiculously young. Obviously, we've still got Rooney here and a few others that are old, but I really do like what we're building, because if we can get this core group up to, you know, mid-70s, I don't see why they can't do a good job in the Premier League. Chance here for Delap to make it 3. Hopefully we can find the back of the net, and we do with an absolute power strike to get all 3 points and to wrap up the game in the last 15 minutes to... yeah, it's been a really good game. I think Delap and Ida up front work really well as a front two, and really looking forward to seeing how we do going forwards. And then we go full time against Cardiff, 3-0 win away from home, of course. Not too sure where the objective is to get 5 away wins in a row, but very convincing game. Obviously, goals from Ida, Whittaker, and of course Liam Delap. As I said, the lineup now is stupidly young, and yeah, I think the future just looks really good, and should be able to get to a very good potential. So we do have a few scout reports here and a transfer offer for one of our players. We'll just got a few scout reports for some goalkeepers. Unfortunately, we won't be able to sign any of these because they're very expensive indeed. Marchetti was mainly there just to see what he is, because obviously he used to be a quality goalkeeper back in the day, but not too much anymore. As you can see, Josephson has gone to FC Utrecht in the Dutch league, so we won't be able to use him in any swap deals now, so it was kind of good that we got Waghorn for Cabango wrapped up. But Ajax are looking for Christian Bielik, and, you know, he's one of our better players for sure, probably one of our best. And they're wanting up to 15 million for him, but I think we're just going to block transfers because he's under contract, and definitely one of the core players at the back for us. So yeah, I think we've done really well in this episode. Obviously, drawing against Man United, I think the signings we've made, and then we wrapped it off with a nice win against Cardiff City. And we do have a final transfer here for Tom Lawrence, again another player, 27 years old, very good. I just don't want to get rid of him, especially at this stage. Maybe once we're in the Premier League, but until then, you know, really good Championship player. But we do have a couple of scout reports here for Bailey Peacock Farrell, who's 24 years old. And 70 rated, so, you know, that could very easily grow. Oh, but Danny Ward, ooh, I think Danny Ward's the shout in terms of goalkeepers, 74 rated. And may still grow a couple of ratings here and there, but very good stats at 74 positioning, 76 diving, and 75 reflexes. But also this Luis Maximiano looks very good as well. Yeah, I think Lucas João would have been a little bit... Lucas João's more of the player that I needed in terms of he's got 86 strength, whereas Ida, I think, has only got about 70. But Ida's a bit more of a development project, so he'll be fun to use. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap up this episode here. It's been quite a long one. A lot of signings, and really good, like, productive, basically. Obviously bringing in Ida and... Ben Cabango, and of course Roden kind of came in this episode, so there's 3 signings. straight away. Matt Clark has gone to a 75, so as I said, when we did sign him at the start of the season for like 3.9 million, if we were going to do it now, he'd be ridiculously expensive. He'd probably be towards 10 or 12 million, so really glad we got that wrapped up. Joswiak also at 76. I don't think anyone else has grown in stats. Shinny's gone to a 73 from a 72, so that's good to see for a player that's 29. Very good player to have in the squad, of course. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode of the Derby Premier League Live. Hopefully we can get Sibley some fitness and get him back into that first team, and then we've got pretty much teenager 11. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the series, and see you soon. Bye.